Hi, Lexis. Welcome back to the Luxury Live Show. I'm your host, Amy, and beside me is my co-host, Kat L. We do this every Friday. Oh, every Friday in North America. We live stream every single week. We alternate between our two channels, and we usually have a pretty cool topic pertaining to luxury. So today we're going to talk about the discontinued tactics. So if you guys remember, I'm not going to show the calendar again. If you follow us, you can see it on our community post. We've posted it probably by end of May. We already posted it our June calendar. So this topic was supposed to be a couple of weeks ago, but I decided to switch it because the Chanel collection was out. So we are doing a switcheroo, which is why today we're covering this topic instead of 2 weeks ago. So again, today's topic is surrounding basically all luxury brands. So not one in particular, but definitely the one that kind of triggered this topic was the most recent Louis Vuitton, I should say it more French, Louis Vuitton Neverfull bag that, was rumored to be discontinued. In the end, it wasn't, but there's still a caveat behind it. You still have to do a wait list. You have to buy it in store, yada, yada, yada. A bunch of basically marketing things that brands are trying to do to lure you to either buy more or to shop in person and to maybe sell you other things, whatever it is. I think it's working. But anyway, so having said that, right, we're going to talk about three main points. We want to talk about examples of brands or bags that have kind of gone through this discontinued tactic. We also wanted to talk about what happens then when they do that and what should you do? Should you go and rush to buy it? Or anyway, we'll see. So let's go over some of the examples of discontinued or rumored to be discontinued bags. So on my thumbnail, I'm sure you saw a couple, the Neverfull. I put the Gabrielle there. I also put the Mini Kelly because, I mean, I didn't know that, but like a lot of you guys were telling us that Hermes wanted to discontinue the Mini Kelly because it was never supposed to be like a permanent bag. It was supposed to be here for a while and then gone. So I don't know if it's still the case.
I don't think it would be the case. They make the most money out of Mini Kellys. I would think so because it's so little, such a small little bag. Maybe harder to make a little bag, but they sell it they sell the pre-spend to get it. People are willing to do it, so it's a hot item. I honestly don't think it's going to be discontinued.
Well, hopefully not because I'm still after one. But if you guys in the comments can think of any other examples that of bags that used to be around and are discontinued, no longer there. We have a few. We don't want to show the list right now, but is there another one that's on your mind, Kat, that you feel like, oh, you kind of missed a boat or getting FOMO from it?
Well, I'm trying to think of others that like sort of that we didn't talk about, but there's one which it's in the list. I saw the list and I was like, yeah, let's talk about that one. This I actually didn't know, but I've heard rumors about it over the years, and I bought it like twice. It is the Petite Noe from LV. So pandemic time, I heard that was going to be discontinued. That's when I bought it the second time. And then finally I sold it. So we'll talk about that later. Then a week and a half ago, I don't know which YouTuber I watched, but I also saw it's finally discontinued. And I had a moment, I'm telling you. I went onto the LV site and I saw it there and I was like, add to cart. Because I seriously had like a blank thought because I really, really like this bag. So I guess in a way this tactic works. So I do know that, I've heard the rumors that the Petite Noe is going to be discontinued. I have no sources. This is hearsay. Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else that I've heard since we last spoke. Not that I
But
can
anyway,
remember.
like I definitely did remember that rumor back then, and I know that that's why you bought it. And anyway, here's Shiza's comment. I remember in 2017 how she spent it. I think that's another YouTuber was
Mm-hmm.
saying that the Mini Kelly might be discontinued, and that is why she bought the vintage one, the MK one on auction. Yep. And then Vivi says, "Yep, Chanel Mini Caviar." I mean, there's many examples. So here's the list that there's more, obviously, because we can't fit everything in that comments in that banner. But these are just some of the examples, right? The Neverfull, Petit Noé, the Caviar Minis, GST, Chanel GST tote, different sizes. Well, there is the PST too, the Petit shopping tote, and the GST, which is the Grand shopping tote. The Gabrielle. We've been talking about the Gabrielle getting discontinued
And
for.
it's still there. I still
I
see
know.
it.
I'm like, but see, that's the thing. It's funny because when the rumor surfaces, it kind of gets propagated, right? Everyone talks about it, and it is information, right? It's knowledge. So if it was really realized at the time, like if it really was discontinued all of a sudden, then you're glad that you knew about it. But somehow it's still around. So I do wonder what happened. What happened there? did they decide not to do it, or was it not really a real thing? So the Coco Handle Extra Mini, that is something that one of my essay once told me, that they're no longer going to be doing the extra mini size. And I was surprised because that was when I was interested in the extra Coco Mini. And that's why I bought mine, because I was like, oh, they're going to discontinue it. So I bought mine. And I think it's still around, but I'm not sure.
It's
That
quite
one, I
rare.
haven't seen it. So that's a curious one. Maybe you guys know better than us. Mini Kelly 2 and Birkin Cellier. We also heard that from some of you guys saying that the
That was going
Birkin
to be
Cellier.
discontinued this year.
Is
They said
it?
this. Yeah, that's what they said. Like this year onwards, they're not going to make it anymore, which could be a real. I mean, well, it was unavailable for a long time. Then it came back, and then for a while, and now it's sort of cheap. I do think the Birkin Cellier is not a disc. It's sort of like seasonal, maybe, because it's
Yeah.
really rare.
I like it though, because see, now I'm in two minds, because I am waiting for a third quarter bag this year. So I definitely want a Mini Kelly, but I also like the Birkin Cellier. So anyway, these things, anyway, they drive us crazy. They drive everyone crazy. The sling box, trapeze, the list goes on. There's way more. Apparently, according to Jesse, the Loewe, I only saw the thumbnail. I didn't watch the video, but I was just like, what is going on? Why is every brand discontinuing their classic bags? That makes no sense.
I see a Korean said that the pochette accessoire was one as well. Yeah, discontinued. But
True.
I don't think it's, well, I think they make so little of it that it's nearly discontinued, because I still see some people get it, at least not this, well, definitely not this year. Firstly, I haven't seen a lot of LV unboxings, but I have seen people show it. Now, whether or not they got it through a reseller or not, I still see it. And it's not that
Mhm.
they don't make a version of it, because they make it for the multi-pochette, but they're clever, because I think they knew that people were buying that pochette accessoire for a bag, and it costs so little. So yeah, maybe they still make it because it's, maybe there is a market for it, but it's still like they make it so exclusive.
It's not only just exclusive, but I still remember it was just a couple years ago, I think, when I was like, they had one increase, and then literally the pochette accessoire, the most
Let me check.
inexpensive items, like the little pouches and that bigger version, this one suddenly jump to close to 1,000 or above. And that's when I was like, okay, well, I don't care that it discontinued it because it's so expensive. It's not worth it. But then it is a useful item, so it's to each their own, right?
Right. Let's take a look online. What does it say?
Sure.
Pochette accessoire.
So Corinne also says the Gucci Soho Disco was very popular, rumored to be discontinued for several years, and finally happened. It's replaced by the Blondie version. Okay. Is it really? Oh my goodness. Yeah, the Soho Disco bag was very, very popular. Super popular. I still think that it's very nice, that camera bag.
It's still online though.
Yeah.
You know, this pochette accessoire, I mean, it's expensive now, but still cheaper compared to
Can you
many,
add
many
to cart?
things. No, it says call for availability.
So maybe there is something. So again, maybe it's something that you have to buy in store, because that's what's happening
it's
to the Never Full, right?
in store by luck you're there. They're like, oh, we have one. Boom, yay! I don't know.
Okay, so anyway, there's many more examples. Let us know if you can think of any. But what happens then, right? Like with this whole marketing tactic of, we think that it's a marketing tactic because it has to come from somewhere, right? Why do these rumors even happen? So it must be a marketing tactic. Maybe it is not. If you guys have any more insight, share. But anyway, usually around these rumors, what can happen, right? There, okay, I can think of one thing already. So it creates FOMO because I already said it earlier. Creates FOMO.
Severe FOMO.
It makes you want to buy it more. Like you're gonna like
I think
not
when
know
it makes
if you
it more
should.
suddenly desirable. It could
Yes.
be items that maybe have, I don't want to say dwindling sales. Like, okay, maybe we take a few examples. Maybe can you pull up the examples again? So the ones that we picked.
Yes.
So let's take Chanel GST, Celine Box, Celine Trapeze, and say the Gabrielle, right? These bags, because they've been around for quite a while, I wonder if, these kind of tactics sort of give it a bit of a revival, right? You revive it. It's in the line of stuff, but by saying, hey, it's going to be discontinued, it gives it a bit of a push, either to push production, clear stock. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be, right? You're like, okay, we really want to discontinue it. But rather than discontinue it quietly, we tell the world it's going to be discontinued, and people rush out to get it because for whatever reason, which we'll talk about later as well. But it sort of gives it a bit of a sales push. And who knows? Maybe the sales push is so fantastic. They say, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe it was just forgotten for a bit in the world of fashion. But then when this rumor started, actually it sort of made people realize, hey, there's this really great cheap bag or great classic bag out there. Don't forget it. Forget about the trendy one. So people rush out and get it. And then they say, you know what? Let's not discontinue it anymore because it's doing well. In fact, let's make more of it. Oh my God. It could be. I think that would be one of the reasons why some brands would do a, rumor.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense business-wise. And that is really driven by like human psychology. So FOMO is one. Another thing is it makes those items more exclusive. If they become less and less available or more rare or just not even available at all anymore, then it creates that exclusivity club, which then drives the supply and demand even in the resale market. It affects them as well. Not to mention wait lists, which we already mentioned earlier. So with the Never Full, for example, they are now, they call it wait lists, I suppose, but Honestly, I don't know, because how do they go about the wait list thing? I know that you're supposed to go to the store and say that you want one. They put your name down, and then eventually you'll get one when it's your turn. But like, I do wonder behind the scenes if there's more to it. Is there a pre-spend component to it? Because when the wait list becomes so big, right? Like if everyone wants one, the people that are just waiting for the bag, are they going to wait a bit longer than the people who are going to be shopping other things? So that's something that I do wonder, which sounds very much like the Hermes game, right? Which we don't really know. Like, behind the scenes, we don't really know how they prioritize all the clients. We really don't know, right? Like, I'm just telling the truth at this point. So there's the exclusivity waitlist component. So let me just show you what we have written. These are just a few of the examples. Price increase, and last but not least, just like Hermes, it forces you to be a more patient consumer, because it also forces you to think more about your purchases. Like, is it really just fear of missing out that you're going to buy it? Or did you really like the item? But since it's getting discontinued, then you are just going to go buy it as soon as possible. Sometimes it's hard to say whether it is, like, sometimes it's hard to clearly see the line, basically. And I saw a few comments. From Shiza. She was just at Chanel in Neiman Marcus yesterday, and the display had the boy bag, the classic flaps, the Deauville, the 22, the mini 22, but no reissues and no Gabrielles. So it feels like, I feel like if it's not on display, it might not be in production as much. Could be.
Could be. But having said that, in the past 3 or 4 seasons, there is so many new bags that maybe in the past, you would see more of the classics on display, but now it's just, just look at this current 23A, the Mitida collection. There's so many bags. Like, there's the hot dog bag. There's so many. Like, they got to display most of it. So I feel like the classics do get pushed aside. You see one guy there, but everything else is just all this the newness of 31, the hot dog bowling bag, the hot dog bag. It's just so many of those bags everywhere, the small bags, the mini bags. So I wonder if during, if the display doesn't show it, is it because it becomes more exclusive, like you're in the know only, then you can ask for it? Like, if you're knowledgeable, then, ooh, can I take a look at the Deauville? But it's there, but only because you're a Chanel girl.
Yeah, it's kind of like, how they have Chanel classic flaps, but they are rarely displayed, as in they don't put all of them out, right? So, but the moment they open that cabinet,
It's like,
then you see all the
whoa.
colors or all the sizes that they have in stock. So it could be a situation where they're just putting away all the reissues, because reissues and Gabrielles, they're still part of the permanent line. Allegedly, the Gabrielle is no longer on the website, which is why this one is still, we still don't know for sure what is going on with it. Although they're still in production. That is one thing I know, which is very curious. So I'm even surprised that you saw a mini 22. Maybe because your store had more stock. I don't know. I mean, we have them on display, but only the non-neutral colors.
Yeah.
Chris Tan says essays don't earn commissions for online sales, so by getting customers to shop at the store, it will help to hold the essay. Wait, is that what I'm reading right? By getting customers to shop at will help to hold the essay?
Sort of like keep the essay working.
Okay.
I don't know if there's like an essay attrition. Oh, well, during pandemic, I was talking to my Hermes essay. And apparently during the pandemic, there was quite a big attrition of essays. They got so overworked, or oh no, sorry, not overworked, because of there's no customers and all. But also maybe they just want to do different things. So during the pandemic, actually a lot of people left, and a lot of new hires of essays into Hermes during the couple of years. It could be commissions, could be a reason. I'm not sure. Possibly.
So, Kat, earlier you were sharing the example of you buying the VUITTON because of the rumor.
Okay, so now I what you said earlier really struck a chord with me, because I do feel it. Like I like it, but at the same time, do I like it? But do I like it enough that I should buy it even without the FOMO? So we're talking about the Petite Noe. I feel like because I bought the Petite Noe the first time, I didn't have enough time with the bag, right? If you follow my little journey of that bag, I got it at the KL store. But within a week of using it, a part of it fell off, which is, the nice side of me would say it's not a big deal. They could just, put it back. But then, you're paying luxury price points. You should be angry, right? You'd be like, what is this, part of the buckle, like the leather buckle to hold it in? Why is that coming off? Why is the thread not dismantling, but sort of unraveling? I actually brought it back to the store and I was pretty upset about it. And my essay then, which is no longer my essay, she let me exchange it. And I believed I exchanged it for the, what bag was that? The little luggage bag. Not bag, sorry, the little backpack. We had it, both of us. What's that bag called? Palm Springs mini backpack. Yeah, that's right.
So that's what happened.
Yeah, so I got an exchange for that and I enjoyed it. Okay, so I enjoyed the exchange. However, I felt that while I was using the Petite Noe for that short 1 week, I really loved it. Like I enjoyed the bucket bag. The only thing that I wasn't keen on was the bulk, but how it looked like on the shoulder, worn at the back of the body, it just looks so classic. It's like, I think it's a bag that's designed to fit champagne bottles, the original size, but this is sort of like the petite version of it. Anyway, for years and years and years, I buy other bags, and I always had like a soft spot for the bag, but I never bought it back because I always thought it'll be there. It'll be there. But then during the pandemic, when it just started, I don't know where I heard the rumor from, but yeah, it was going to be discontinued. And I was like,
I think everyone was saying that.
Yeah, and I was like, what? Okay. It's now or never. It's now or never. So I bought it and I got it. And you know what? Maybe it was a timing issue because I got it at the peak of the pandemic. I never got a chance to use it. I swear it was set. Yeah, it sat in my cupboard for, years, right? Years until last year. And then I jumped into Hermes train. And now we're back normal. And I wonder if it was a wrong timing. Like I should not have listened to that rumor and got it in this rumor, say for example. But then, yeah, anyway, I let it go. So the second time, and I'm like, now it's happening again. And I'm feeling the severe, okay, not even extreme, severe FOMO.
Oh, I did not know it was severe FOMO. Because, guys, before we came in onto this live stream, actually, when we were preparing this material,
it's in my cart.
Kat had, recounted this story to me, and I was telling her, I'm like, don't buy it again.
Don't do it.
I said, no. Like,
There it
it's
is.
very rare coming from me. Oh, it's on your cart. It's very rare coming from me to tell someone to like just don't buy
Oh, I
it.
want it.
Usually I will say like, oh well, if you love it, then you should get it. I'm like that. I'm really like liberal in a sense that you do whatever you like. Like that's how I am. But this time I told Kat, I'm like, you don't need to do it a third time. Don't buy
I
it.
know.
That's and of course I have experience myself too. Not with this bag, although I did own this bag, which we can get into later, but I had this not the same, but similar experience with a bag that I kind of have a love-hate relationship, and in the end, I I just didn't feel like it was the complete. It was not the wrong decision. Oh my god, so sorry. Let
grab
me
it.
just mute my.
Well, let me talk about my FOMO. So it's here. It's in my cart. And all I gotta do is press proceed to check out.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm
My mom
dying.
is calling me. My phone is on mute, but my watch was telling me, "Hey, your mom is calling." So I'm gonna mute my watch. I'm gonna call her back later. But my point is, I had the same experience with the Coco handle, which is not completely the same experience. It's sort of because of the love-hate relationship. Um, I based on that experience, I told Kat, do not try it a third time because it's a little different. I cannot mute it. I don't know why. But anyway, where was I saying? What was I saying?
What should I do? I know. I you know what I need? I need Hermes to call me and say you've got a bag.
Well, that will help.
I will
Except
totally wipe out all my money, and I'll be like, okay, sorry, Petit Louis. I'll see you in a few years if you're still around.
it's true. That is gonna tame it for a little bit, but I guess that is why we have to discuss what we should do about it. Like whenever they come up with these tactics, these discontinuing tactic or just rumors, they're not even discontinue, but maybe they just make less of them. What should you do, right? So the other thing I wanted to mention, which I completely forgot, so we'll just move on to the third point, and then when my memory comes back, I'll just talk about it. But okay, so this happens. Should you rush to get it? There are two scenarios that we can think of. Scenario A, you've always wanted it anyway, so now what do? Do you rush to go get it, or do you, I don't know, are there other factors why you're still waiting, I suppose? So in that case, what would you do, Kat?
What would me? Okay, so if I say if I was already already wanting it, so we spoke about, I guess we got some scenarios like that through Q&As, right? It's like, there's a price increase coming. Should I get it now or wait until or get it later when I'm ready? So in a similar vein, this is sort of like the price increase, because if it's discontinued, who knows what will happen, right? So if you always wanted it, like if I've always wanted it and it's going to be discontinued, I think I'm going to bite the bullet. Like it's just something that fits my lifestyle now. I have, in some scenarios, I may not have the full funds for it, so because what if it's going to be discontinued next month and I'm just getting a crazy price, like say $15,000, this bag of my dreams, right? And maybe I've only saved up, say 9. I might have to dig my savings. Like, I don't know what I'll do. Okay, I don't encourage this, but if it's something that I always wanted and it's gonna be gone forever, not even a pricing, it's gone forever, I might do crazy things. Yeah, I might. What else would I do? Yeah.
Let me give you another like an example, actual concrete example. So I agree with what you're saying that if this is the scenario, you've always wanted it anyway, just bite the bullet and get it. But let me give you this example. So on top of that, your MS essay calls you.
You just
What
added
happens
like
then?
you added like what do you call those I don't know, you just added something like boom.
Yeah. Like you can't say no to your MS essay because that's your actual wish list, and it's coming true right
Mm.
now. But at the same time, this bag or whatever it is about to be discontinued, unavailable after that. You might be able to find it, but only in the pre-love market, or if you're lucky, there might be some in stock somewhere. You have to find it really, like you have to like look and be really
Yeah.
lucky to even get it.
Yeah. So I could use the petite noe as an example, right?
Sure.
Not I always wanted, I always loved this. I've always loved the design. When I look at the petite noe, I think it's so pretty. I don't know why. I just feel very attracted to this bag. And I know people don't like it because of the amount of vachetta it has, but somehow for this bag, it doesn't bother me. I actually really like it that way. Now, if it gets discontinued and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna bite the bullet, just buy it. That's it, just buy it, right? And then next week my essay calls me, hey, come to the store.
Yeah.
In where I am today, my life suits both bags. Like I've always, given my wish list to my essay. I like Hermes bags, that's why I'm doing the journey. But then at the same time, this is something that I actually like, even though an LV monogram for certain bags is not for me anymore. I can see use for it. But I think in reality, my current obsession takes precedence, which is because that's where I'm headed towards. This is sort of more sentimental, more, I don't know, more like, maybe, yeah, there's no sentimental to it, but it's just all like, oh, I love LV. But if push comes to shove, my essay does call me and say, not this way, this way. I'm sorry. Bye, LV. Sorry. I'll find you in Japan, some pre-love market or something. Yeah.
Oh, really? So you won't get it? I thought you just said that this obsession gets precedence.
No, not the obsession gets precedence.
The MS
well,
wish list.
it's a curveball, right? It's a curveball.
Yeah.
Like of course, if I buy the bag and then my essay calls me, I'm like, I'll just have to have 2 bags. So
I mean, it is hard to really imagine the scenario until it happens to you, because
let me tell you, it has happened to me. This scenario
Right.
has totally. Do you remember the scenario?
I'm not sure which one, but I mean, I'm sure it happened to me too. I can probably think of a million times when a Chanel launch happens and I told my essay in advance that I wanted certain things, and all of a sudden they all become available at the same
Yeah.
time, like all the brands, all the wish list items, they all like one after another within the same couple of weeks, and you're just like mind blown because you want to do the responsible thing and it's really hard. It's really hard.
This situation happened between my green top handle bag and oh wait, is it?
I forgot one now.
No, sorry, no. Let me start again. This
Oh.
situation happened between my Rolex and my Constance.
Oh.
They were back to back. Remember this? I was telling you, I was like, I just blew a fortune. I feel like dying. Because I've been wanting that that Rolex for, well, forever, right? I've been wanting and wanting and wanting, and it was so hard to get. And then finally one appeared in the pre-love market, brand new, exactly what I wanted. And I was like, okay.
But in
Get
this
it.
case, though, they're both super. Like, I mean, are you really gonna say no to a Constance or a Rolex? Like, come on.
I mean,
They're both so high
the,
up there.
the responsible thing to do is to say no to the one that came later.
But in the end, that didn't happen, right?
In the end, I suffered for quite a bit. There's a huge hole with Kat, the saving person who I owe a huge debt with. So I'm like, oh, every time she comes, I'm like, I got no money for you.
But having said that, I
Mhm.
feel like it was still the right thing to do for that scenario. Obviously, I don't encourage it every time. But I think because those two are so hard to come by, like you just don't know. Like you might get another Constant, sure, another time, but it might not be this combination. Same with the Rolex. And by then, who knows, the popularity could, you see, those things you just cannot predict. You can never tell the future whether it'll be even more popular, therefore even more in demand, but supply is low. So you don't know those things, which goes back to what I said earlier. Like it's hard to really be able to answer concretely whether you would go ahead or not. I think the Petit Noe is a little easier just because,
The price point.
yeah, price point, and it's kind of like, at the end of the day, like you said, you might be able to find it in Japan, some consignment store. They are more readily available at the same time as well. And for something that does patina, as long as you find a patina that you love and you're okay with, then it's all good, right? So I think some scenarios are totally okay to be a bit irresponsible, and others it's also okay to just, oh, okay, I'll just, forget about it. Which actually I just reminded myself of what I was gonna say before my mom interrupted. I was gonna just say that the Bettino way, I had it as well. I had it for quite a while actually. I think over a year. And I did the whole patina process from like when it was brand spanking new till when I sold it. And sold it to the loveliest subscriber who still takes really good care of it. And I really enjoyed the bag. And so I totally understand from the point of view of like how timeless it just feels when you're carrying it. Yeah, it's a little bulgy and whatever, but then big bags are back anyway. So like fashion comes and goes. So there's something about the Bettino that sort of like, screams LV. If you think of LUV, you think of patina, you think of the monogram. So I can totally understand why I didn't know, because when you said extreme FOMO, I didn't know that it was extreme FOMO. So.
It's extreme. But then again, if it really gets discontinued, it's not a bag that's gonna be $8,000 in the resale market, right? When I'm ready, when I feel like, you know what, I'm gonna look for it, I'm pretty sure I can find a decent price. Even if I have to pay a premium, for example, a brand new kept new piece, I think I'll be okay. I don't think the premium's gonna be like double the price.
Yeah.
Even if it is, it still costs cheaper than a walk, okay? From the store, from Chanel. So try to tell myself that, like, calm down, Kat. Don't look at your phone. Don't open the LV app. But yeah, so this is probably answering this scenario. Maybe we ask the audience, what would you do, okay, if you now hear a rumor of an item that you've always wanted that's going to be discontinued? What would you do? Would you go all cray like me? Or just, if you're not ready, just say, you know what, forget it. So yeah, let us know. What about you, Amy? What would you do?
I would do the same thing as you did. For this particular bag, I would just forget about it. But let's just say, because this one doesn't have much weight to it, right? So let's just say like the 22 bag. And
Ooh,
and
yes,
then
use
my
that.
essay, and then my Hermes essay calls, and she has like my wish list, whatever. But like, just let's just say, right, they happen at the same time. I thought about it only because I've already experienced the 22 bag. So similar to you, I've already experienced the Petit Noe. I've already experienced the 22 bag. I loved it while I had it. It was such a short period, too short, only a month.
Mm,
For me, only a month. And then issues happened. They happened before, but I only noticed it, checked afterwards. So I would buy it only because both. I would buy both because I've always enjoyed the bag and I always missed it since. And I know it already had gone up in price, especially with Chanel. Every price increase is so big, that I know if I had to wait another time to buy it, it might go up even more. And at that point, I'm not sure if it'll really be worth it, because even right now, it's kind of not worth it. So for that one, I would just get both. But if it was something that I really did want it, but like it wasn't so, I don't know, maybe it's a bit more common and I can sort of temporarily not live with it, then I might decide at that point to not get it.
mm,
So same answer as you basically, but it is really hard because I feel like until it actually happens to you, you don't really know what you're gonna do. You might do the responsible thing, but you might do the irresponsible thing as well.
yeah.
Um,
Okay, let me see. I agree with this comment from Diana. If it's an SLG or maybe a bag, okay, so SLG or bag that doesn't break the bank, I will likely to buy it soon. But if it's a
okay.
big ticket item, I will still wait. Too many rumors about bags being discontinued that I don't trust anymore. Yeah,
Ah,
I feel like this is just rumor mongering everywhere. Every
yeah.
few seconds, it's just like maybe it worked for one, and everybody's like, "All right, dish it, everyone just dish it." And now everybody's been discontinued. Everything's been discontinued.
It's true. Corinne, let's just go through some of what you guys will do. So Corinne, I won't go buy it immediately, like within
Like
two
it does.
hours.
Well, I'm better than you, Korean. It's been here for a week.
That's exactly what I did for my LV early last year.
Mm.
So, oh no, wait. She switched it to will. I will go buy it immediately. I think that's what you mean, right? Yeah, you will.
Oh,
Ah, so she will buy it right away. Okay. Within 2 hours.
Korean. Luckily I don't talk to Korean because if I mean like you like you right like, Korean, should I buy the petite note? Yes. Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no. Press checkout. Okay. Close the LV app, but let me close the app just in case.
It's actually a good sign that since you've had it for, in your
In the
checkout, but you
car.
haven't checked out yet, so that's good. I
You know
mean,
what I'm trying. Well, you know what I'm trying to do because I'm actually pretty good at leaving things in the checkout,
yeah.
and then I tell myself if the day that I feel like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy it, like that, maybe in a moment of doing something, maybe I don't know, I had a good day or I had a bad day or something like that, and I just feel like either I'm crazy or I feel good, and okay, I'm ready to buy it. And if I go into the checkout and the thing's gone, then I'll say, okay lah, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And if it's not there, then too bad. So I used to practice. Actually, no, I don't use. I do practice this, and I still do, which is why it's still in the checkout. I'm like, oh, shit, it's still there. Okay, it's still there. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. But if I'm ready and it's there, I'll buy it. But if I'm ready and it's not there, I kind of soothe myself. It's like, well, it's not meant to be. And I'm like,
Yeah.
woo, saved purchase. I don't know. It's so torturing, right? I torture myself this way. No.
Don't worry, I think we all do it to ourselves. For you, it just so happens to be right now with this bag. From Shiza, I've been wanting the mini reissue, but if I heard it was being discontinued, I would let it go. And then
Mm.
I think Eileen also said something. I won't chase for discontinued. If I really like the item, I would have bought it before
The
houses.
houses sit. Is this like if you liked it, you should have bought it, not before everybody the rumor came out. Clap. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it says a lot when you still have it in your cart and you haven't bought it yet. I mean, you probably do like it a lot, but is it like 150% you know you like it that much that you cannot live without it, or is it like just 99%? That
Okay,
type
so I
of
think it's a mix of decisions.
Mm.
So it's not just one reason why I haven't bought it. So or one reason why it's in my cart. It's complex. It's
Mhm.
complex. So it's like that. Like when it's in my cart means I want to buy it is because of those reasons. I like it. I think it's still in a reasonable price point, and I can see use for it in my collection. So those are the yeses to buying it. But then I haven't checked out because I'm trying to be good. Okay, I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be good with my collection. Meaning I don't want to expand my collection beyond what I have today. Like whatever I've had today, or whatever I have today with my Birkin, my Kelly, my 22, I'm actually pretty okay. I've gotten use of everything. So it takes a lot right now for me to add a new bag in my collection. So some people say purse piece, definitely not purse piece, but I feel like the collection that I have now, I have everything that fulfills a need. I have a pretty bag. I have a workhorse bag. I have a bag that looks like the Petite Noe, which is the toolbox. So if I
Not
get
really,
this
but
bag in,
anyway.
yeah. So if I get this bag into my collection, I feel like, do I really need it? So I'm actually asking myself the hard questions. I like it, but do I need it? Which, in fashion world, sometimes you don't need things, right? In the fashion world,
Right.
if you like it as a hobby, you like it as something you're passionate about. Like, do I need like 40 lipsticks? I don't, but I like them, right? So in a bag perspective, do I need this extra bag? I don't. But I really like it. So which is why it's still hanging in my cart. So it's that balance that I'm trying to find. Like if I bring it in, obviously I will love it. And I'll find the use for it. But I'm pretty sure I can do without it. So it's really at this middle point. So to bring in a new item right now, wow. I am being really strict with the gate. So it also applies to the Hermes bags, right? When I ask, what do I want? Yeah, I want a lot of things. Like I want the mini Lindy, I want this, I want that. But push comes to shove, that being a big ticket item as well, I honestly don't think I'll collect everything. It would be almost wishing, dreaming it. I'll have one or two more maybe, but I pretty much will close the gate, because otherwise then there will be so much, nothing will get loved. Oh no, everything will not get loved enough, and I may feel overwhelmed, which I am not overwhelmed right now. I'm actually very at peace with my collection. And yeah, I rather buy cheapo bags. Like, okay, I don't use cheapo. Affordable bags. Affordable bags that I can toss around. I know, Catherine, she's like, don't be too good, have some fun, you see? You're like the one sitting here, like the one with the horns, okay?
Well, there's no right or wrong. That is why I said, like, even though we're discussing this and we're giving ourselves a hypothetical analogy, right, that might happen, when it actually happens, depending on your mood that day, depending on what happened the day before, depending what's happening the day after, you might change your mind, right? Like you might be like, oh, I want to just celebrate this. Or you might be like, oh, I've had like the shittiest week. I'll just go and buy it because I want to reward myself. So you never know anyway. but
So right
it's still
now,
good to talk about.
right now I'm calm. I'm like, I'm zen. I may not seem zen, but I'm pretty zen. When I look at it, I'm like, ugh, but I can push the zen. But you're right. When there is one of those emotional days, whether it's good emotions or bad emotions, that emotional kind of day, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
see.
see. Which
We'll see what
brings us
happens.
to this comment before we move to scenario B, which I totally agree. A lot of my purchase in the past 1.5 years were driven by impending price increases, LV, Fendi, Chanel. And you know what? A year and a half ago, everyone was locked down. Everyone was bored out of their mind. We needed to feel something, other than just being like, facing four walls. So I think everyone went crazy back then. And I do wonder, like, if it wasn't the pandemic and it wasn't the lockdown, we may or may not have bought everything. Like, some things we might have still bought anyway, but like maybe not everything. So like totally understandable. Again, there's no right or wrong. I did insane things, Catherine. I just went crazy. Love is love. Sometimes it is that too. You just love everything, and so you just go for it, and there's nothing wrong with that either. So, okay, let's just bring you to scenario B. So that's scenario 1. It's scenario A. You've always wanted it. So scenario B, on the other hand, is you liked it. You like it, but it's not as high of a priority item on your wish list. Long wish list. But because this impending or this discontinued rumor is happening, so now what do you do? And an example, well, the Lady Dior is not getting discontinued, but this is just a good example because, again, it applies to Kat, our dear Kat here, who have had the Lady Dior on her wish list for ages. So let's just say the Lady Dior is about to get discontinued, right?
Yeah.
It's on her wish list.
Yeah, it's on
but
my
it's never
wish.
been at the top of her wish list. So what do you do now?
Oh my gosh. So it's been through several price increases. It's
Like,
I
how many
remember
years ago did you want
oh
to
my
Lady Dior?
gosh. Let me see. I mean, I still have the video where I still look bright-eyed, face full of collagen, no wrinkles, no.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
It's
I
like
remember
I
the
was
days.
like white. Wow, white, and even I'm like, hi, welcome to my channel. Please don't watch those videos again. Please don't go back to the past. Anyway, that was when I was like, I want a Lady Dior. And that was what, 6-7 years ago. And every year I go to the store, I try it out. Only in the past maybe 4 years pre-pandemic, that, and then pre-pandemic, and before that I had some photos of me trying out the patent version. I went to Japan, I tried it out. It's like everywhere I go, I'm like, let's go and check out the Lady Dior. And those prices then, they were reasonable.
Much better.
to what it was today. I even brought my husband to the KLCC Dior store, which is a rare thing, okay? Because I don't really care what he says about my bags. But for some reason, I needed a voice of reason to tell me, don't buy it. And so I brought him there. We were checking out several, there were so many, okay, several of the mini Lady Dior's, and it was stinking cute, okay? I think they were how much? Let me see. If I convert it today at that price, maybe they were like under 5,000. How much is it now? Like the mini Lady Dior's, they were like
I
under.
think they are more than the mini Chanel flap, and the Chanel flap is like 6,000 now, isn't it? Plus tax. So I'll just give you the right price. So continue talking. I'll just
Okay.
go and look for
So
it.
while you check, when I saw it, it was 15,000 ringgit. So if you divide that by 3, which was the conversion then, it was just under 5,000. So 4,000 something Singapore dollars. If you're in the US, that's divide by another 1.3. So anyway, it was 70% of that. So it was really cheap. I mean, it was expensive then, but if you compare to now, it's like, girl, why didn't you buy it, right? But anyway, my husband went there. He's like, no, looks like grandma bag. I'm like, really? I'm holding this cute thing. though I wanted him to be the voice of reason, I didn't want him to be the voice of reason at the same time. I am so
Aw.
conflicted. Anyway, I was like, fine. I left the store. I still remember that incident, okay? And I still never bought it. Over the years, I've been looking at it. But then other things came, Chanel came, Hermes came. So this is where it came. A low priority wish list, something that I've, in a way, always wanted. How much is it now?
So with tax, you're looking at around 7,200 Canadian.
72.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway, so it's like nearly doubled in price.
Yeah, all getting there. And this is
Yeah.
just for the regular version. If you want, I mean, let's just assume you want the regular version.
I just
right?
wanted the regular version.
Yeah, so
that pretty thing.
just 7 grand. 72.
Oh my gosh. So it's goodbye. I mean, okay, price wise. Okay, so over the years, because I think I took so long to make a decision, other things came priority. I didn't buy it. And just pump, price went up. And I mean, I think I've always said never say never to the bag. But then if this scenario happens where it's this low priority wish list, always wanted it, but pushed it down to the bottom of the ranks. And now you get this like, okay, not only it's expensive because it's gone up, it's you're not gonna get it anymore. Goodbye. So I think I'll ask myself what took me so long to get it, and whether these were all signs that I should not even bother anymore. So I think I'll let it go.
Mm.
I think to Eileen's point, if I've always wanted it, I would have bought it before the rumor happened. I think the rumor is just making the decision for me in a way. If it really gets discontinued, then you have wanted it, then should have bought it. So yeah, I think I will let it go for this case. It's low priority.
But it still hurts.
I think it will hurt for a little bit. It'll be one of those bags that 10 years from now I will think back and like, I should have bought it then. Then it got discontinued. One of those grandma stories of bags.
Or to your niece, it's like, you could inherit this. You could have inherited this, but sorry, I didn't buy it at the time, so. No more.
Sorry,
like you go buy it yourself. Go make
buy
money
yourself.
and buy yourself.
Wait for them to reissue it. When it comes back in I'm sure they'll bring it back. It'll be like double the price. But yeah, if only I bought it when I was smarter then. I should have done it last time.
No, I totally agree. Again, I will also quote the same what Eileen said. It's if you really did want it, you would have done everything possible to try to get it earlier. Maybe not within 2 hours, because not everything is available within 2 hours, but you would have tried much harder to just get it and just bite the bullet. Sometimes it's about just biting the bullet, because they were always expensive. Like even back then when I bought mine, I think I paid just over 5,000 for mine. Like I already felt like, it was like, how could I spend that kind of money? Like it's so expensive. It used to be only 3,000, blah, 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 when I first saw it. And now it's like this. But then I knew if I didn't buy it, I like today with this pricing, I would just forget about it. But I also agree that it will hurt, because I would always have wondered, had I just bought it? Even if I didn't use it, had I just bought it, it would just be in my collection. Like I would always be thinking back, like if I had the bag, right? If I had just bitten the bullet. But then it's too late at this point, because again, going back to, do you really want to be so irresponsible for, like, are you really making exceptions to everything? Like sometimes it's okay to make exceptions, but you can't be doing that a whole lot every single time, right? So although it will hurt, I think I will also agree to, if it was never meant to be, even if it's your own decision, then it was never meant to be in your collection. And there's a reason why it's a lower priority wish list, I suppose. Like, even for me, the Lady Dior, I wouldn't call it, and I'll use the same example too, I wouldn't have called it a high priority wish list for me at the time. But I think it was something that I knew I wanted to be part of my core collection. And I decided at that time when I bought it, I decided that I'm going to have only one, and it's the only one that I'll ever get. And no matter how often I used it, because I also knew at the back of my head, I also knew that it was not a very practical bag, and that I wouldn't really get to use it as much as I would, for example, the Chanel Mini or even the 22. Like, those bags, actually, even the Birkins and Kellys I use more. So like those bags I use more. The Lady Dior is not like that, right? First of all, it's so pretty and it's sort of like very dressy. So for me, it's more of it has to be a special occasion bag. And plus the noise from the trinkets, it just kind of adds to the atmosphere. So I don't really want to use it all the time, but I was okay with that. So once I made that decision, I bit the bullet. But then, yeah, it's not an everyday bag. I don't use it all that much. In fact, I think I end up using it a few times a year. So if there's any consolation to Kat, even if you got it, it would be like a bag that you used it once a year or twice a year, probably for a wedding, So
So the answer to this situation, since it's still hypothetical that the Lady Dior will be discontinued, is that if I ever travel to Paris, I should just buy it. And then one day when it gets discontinued, I'm like, I got it before it's discontinued.
True. Yeah. Well, you never know if certain sizes will get discontinued, or like sometimes it's just the color that you like. It's not always going to be around, right? Because you might not just go for black or like a color that, I think even my color, they don't really, like, they have it, but it's like different. I'm pretty sure some of my subscribers told me that they bought the pearlescent one, but it doesn't look the same. So sometimes it's just also the color, the leather, the combination, and that makes it special. And so if you have that and they don't make it anymore, then it's kind of discontinued, right? But yeah. Okay, I'm glad that we got it out of our system. So in the end, have we learned to be wiser? Like, with the pandemic, with all the FOMOs that has happened, with all the crazy price increases, have we all learned our lesson? And maybe, like, we're not going to be perfect, but we're better at it now.
Yeah. I think in summary, it's sort of saying that we know these are discontinued tactics, right? It's just that, are we willing to weigh out the risk that it is just a rumor? And I mean, are we willing to take the risk that it's just a rumor? I think being burnt a few times, maybe we're just like, you know what, forget it. And if it's really, really not meant to be, then not meant to be. I think that's both of our kind of where both of us coming from. Of course, like Corinne, she's like, nah, I'm not going to take the risk. I'm buying it first, which is also a tactic, right? Which is also a tactic because you get it at the price that it is right now, which is much cheaper than whatever it is. So price then than what it is today. So it really depends. I think for me, when I hear things are discontinued, like, okay, let's say use the Platino, and I hear things that discontinued, I sort of go a little, I'll let myself sit in the FOMO feeling, right? I feel, for like weeks, but I think I've trained myself enough to resist it. It took a while, right? So like I said, many mistakes over the past few years. But yeah, I think I got better at it. I'll feel it for a bit, go do some housework, things like that. And then after a while, it kind of goes away, and then you sort of think clearly whether you like the point whether I really want it. And when I think clearly, then I will make the decision. So yeah, I think for me that's how it works right now. Discontinued tactics, yeah, it goes in emotional, especially if you wanted it. For me, if I wanted it, but I'm better at calming myself down now.
Good one. I think for me, especially ever since getting into Hermes and learning how to be patient, basically. Yeah. It really made me realize that a lot of things, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And if it's not meant to be, then it's not meant to be. It doesn't mean that it will never happen, but it was not meant to be at that time. And so, because with Hermes, there's really no way to accelerate or push things. I mean, because everyone's own journey is different, right? Everyone's shopping patterns are different. Everyone's essays are different. Everyone where you shop, the locality is also different. So, like, I mean, there's just so many unpredictable, intangible factors that, yeah, it's okay to like share experiences, but it doesn't mean that it will happen to you the same way as the person next to you. So it's really like made me just, kind of go with the flow. And it doesn't mean that it's a lot easier in a way. It's just that, it is what it is. So I think that is why I will still be like, for example, I'm after these things at Hermes, right? So they will come when they come, and those will definitely take precedent. But like if at the same time a Chanel wish list also comes, let's just say, and I want it enough, I will just also get it. I guess it depends at that point. Or it could be something else, not just Chanel, but it could be anything, right? It could be jewelry, whatever. If I had really wanted it enough, I will just bite the bullet and get it, because there were a few times when I bit the bullet and got things, and I'm really happy about it. I guess at those moments you have to kind of tell yourself, okay, are you going to be okay with those items being used this frequency or not that frequency and this and that, right? Like you have to be okay with those things. And as long as you make that decision for yourself and be happy with it, then there's no right or wrong. So
yeah, I think to the point about, there are just so many of these rumors going on right now. We get a little, I think the word's jaded by it. Initially, it was hot. FOMO was really real, but I feel like because it's used way too often or heard too often, or just essays just throw it out. Yeah, I don't see it. Maybe discontinued. Like they do things like that because they want to make you FOMO. Say, oh, I don't know when it'll come back. So it's us training ourselves, right? To say, well, like you said, go with the flow. If it's really not there, then not there, lol. Just let it be.
Yeah. Okay, going through some of your comments. And Johari, I just bought the mini reissue So Black yesterday. Yay!
Wow, congratulations.
And
Nice.
apparently there's only 10 in SG. Wow.
That's quite a lot. 10.
But it depends, because like if
Oh.
10 clients buy it at the same time, then that's it.
10, that's quite a, okay, sorry. That's
It's not that much, because
three
there's
per
more than 10
store. Okay.
essays in SG, I'm sure. And if each client has, each essay wants one, then it's all gone within a matter of minutes.
I don't know how many they buy. I mean, because I always hear my essays say things like, there's only 2 or 3 in Singapore. So when I hear 10, it sounds like a lot. But maybe that sounds correct as well, because if you split it among the shops, then then it will be less.
Okay, I think. Okay, Corinne, I have many things that I am interested in, can't and shouldn't buy them all. So impending price increases kind of nudges me forward. Right. So she was explaining how like It made her buy like the price increase and everything. But see, like even with Catherine, who's like, just buy it if you love it, sometimes it also depends on the item. So I used to want the mini Lindy, but I don't think I will get it now. Makes sense. You don't have to apply the exception to everything. Blue Egyptian. I'm staying focused to the Chanel 19S mini pearl rectangle. Oh, so you're gonna try to find it pre-love, right? And the white 21S mini rectangular top hand. Oh, those are both my wish. Those
What
are
is the
both the
Chanel
wish lists that have
19S?
sailed for me.
Is
Like
it
there are
the
two bags that I want that have sailed.
Oh, mini white top handle. Oh, okay. The pearl bag, right? Okay.
Yeah. The pearl and also the rectangular mini that has the top handle, and it's the only season that they made it in caviar.
And in white.
I have one in the black, but I also want it in the white. So same with Blue Egyptian Lotus. I have those two that are also top of my Chanel wish list. Been thinking about these for at least a year. Can't get it off my head. Yeah, it's hard. See,
Yeah.
for those ones, right? For me, because the ship has sailed, buying it from the store, it's sort of like if I bump into it somehow and it was the right timing and I'm okay with that premium, then I will get it. Otherwise, I'll, ship has sailed sort of thing, and it is what it is. Not meant to be. Oh yeah, that's actually, this is so true. I have friends that are like that, and I kind of understand the psychology when they say it like that. So if it's something that's discounted or on sale, I don't want it anymore for some reason. I feel like it's a sign to move on. It's sort of like I have a friend that I used to shop quite frequently here at Chanel with, and whenever we go together and you think you have a wish list, right? You have a wish list in your mind, but then you go to the store and the one that you wanted, you think that you want it, is all on display. Suddenly you don't want it anymore because nobody wants it, so you don't want it anymore. It's sort of that mentality. Does it make sense to you, Kat?
You mean you don't want to be with the masses?
No, I don't know if it's exactly that, but it's sort of like maybe there's a bit of that exclusivity factor that you want the thing that you want to be like
I get it.
so popular and that it's so hard to get.
Okay, I get it. You know why? So I can tell you why I've never bought the Neverfull. It's one of those bags that's everywhere. It's like, and it's not the main reason, but I'm pretty sure it's a contributing factor.
Right.
I like the bag. Like I like it enough, like the design, the Neverfull. But all my searches of the Neverfull, I've always gone for the limited edition ones. I've always gone to the store to see the Tahitian one. I saw the one with the Japanese, the Japanese eyes. I can't remember which collection that was. I kind of liked the Kusama one, but I never got it because of the bulk, right? So that was also another reason. But I never honed into the tradition, the classic design. Maybe seeing it everywhere was a little bit of a turn off. Yeah, it's not the main reason, but it's definitely a contributing issue. Like it's everywhere. On top of that, because it's everywhere in different permutations. So it's sort of like I'm getting a view of what my bag will look like in the future. So I have some people who take care of it. It's like you get the life of your bag. Thank you everyone who's using it. You got some people that take care of it, like, oh yeah, actually it looks quite nice. So when I see somebody carrying it in pristine condition, I sort of want it. Then I'll be like, oh, not bad. It actually looks quite nice, yeah. Then I get a positive vibe from it. But then most people who carry it, I'm sorry if you have it, they trash the bag. Like really, really, it's either the straps or the side is coming out. It's really badly patinaed. It's squashed. It's just fraying and all that. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's bad. And then I don't want it anymore. So I kind of get it a little bit from that perspective.
How about the discounted perspective? Because, like, for example, there are some brands that do discount. For example, now I'm trying to think which one. Like sometimes you can find, for example, mattress fashion, right? Like you can sometimes find. Is that a good example? Yeah, I think it is. Like sometimes you can find like, oh, Fendi goes on sale for 30% off, or like what brands do they carry? Drawing a blank. But they are luxury brands still, but they do sometimes go on sale. Does that deter you from wanting those bags, even though they're really nice bags?
No. If I wanted it and it's on discount, I'll be like, heck yeah. Yeah. So one example of this is my old bag, which is the Balenciaga City, the old version, before they revamped it to be the more straight, structured one, but the old slouchy lambskin version. So discontinued, actually, that's another example of a discontinued bag, right? Rumored, and it actually happened. However, that didn't take off. Surprisingly, that didn't take off. Not a lot of people ran out and buy that bag. Maybe it wasn't a look that a lot of people liked in the first place, but I liked it. And to me, being discontinued and then discounted, for this, my psyche is heck yeah, because I can get it cheaper now, and I'll buy it. But that's because I already liked it. But if it was a bag that to add to that, I liked it and I've used it, so I know that it's a good bag. So getting it cheaper, plus. But if it was one of those trendy bags that I kind of like the look, then it's discounted. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would be indifferent.
Okay. So I'm kind of the reverse of you. I don't mind when something is really popular, like same status as the Neverfull. To me, that says something about the bag being so popular. So that doesn't deter me. On the other hand, sometimes when things, normally if it's a brand that constantly gets discounted, it actually does put me off a bit. Unless I already like that bag, like you said, you had the exception of like, if you already liked it and it's cheaper, why not? I agree, but I think in general, that brand name would kind of be not my cup of tea if it continuously gets discounted after a while. That's something that I don't know. I'm not even sure how to explain why I feel that way. I guess there is a part of me that prefers that it feels more not holding the value. So that has nothing to, maybe it has something to do with, but everything, like it holds value. It has that status of like people wanting it, and I actually want more people to want, like I want it to be a popular bag, because in that way it holds its value, and in that way I like that it's loved by the masses, and I like that about it. So I don't want it to, because bags that don't, or brands that don't have to be discounted and people still buy in loads and get on wish lists and everything, I feel like I'm more attracted to those. So sort of that mentality. I don't know why, but
okay, I'm trying to come up with one sort of maybe men's psychology thing of it. So imagine Cartier, right?
yeah.
It never goes on discount, right? Obviously for the masses. Hear me out now, for the masses. So I pay as much as you pay.
Yeah.
The only difference is if we go to America, Paris, and we get the quote unquote discount because of the currency differences or the taxes. However, when I heard that staff get discounted, they get to purchase the items at a discount, I was slightly taken aback.
Oh, okay.
Because I felt like, so the feeling, so this is not that I'm angry, but I felt a little bit me who pays $10,000, let's say $10,000 for the bracelet, and you pay $10,000, and she pays $10,000, everyone pays $10,000, and I know it's a benefit, but then you hear, what, you bought it for what? I know the discount, so I'm not gonna say it. It's significant, and I had a moment like, I had a feeling like I felt slightly cheated. Okay, so take a brand. So this is a staff thing, right? But if you take a brand outside, so you buy your Marc Jacobs, you buy your Chanel's, let's use the ones that actually have discounts to the public. It, in a way, I wouldn't want to pay the full price because it makes me feel stupid, because I know in a few months you're gonna discount it by 30 or 40%. So I want a good deal as much as the next person.
Yeah.
So it's not a way, it's not to say you're cheap. It's not to say it cheapens the brand, but I want to be the quote unquote smart consumer and just wait until you do the discount, and I'll get the item at 70% cost. I mean 70% of the price, because she got it at 70% of the price. Because if that other person bought it at 100%, you're dumb. You're dumb because you paid.
No, I wouldn't say dumb. We enjoyed it a little earlier. Okay, that's not
Fine,
fair.
I'm sorry. No, it's still a consumable, but there is a bit of that psyche, right? Because you want to be the smart consumer. You want to be clever with your money.
Yeah.
So brand cheapening aside, I don't feel like that happens. It's just that you're trying to get the better deal.
Yes.
So I'd still buy from the brand, but if I know that you always do discounts, I'll wait.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Totally agree with that. Definitely. I think what I was trying to get to for me is that those brands, I don't even want to buy it anymore. Like, that's sort of the mentality. It doesn't mean that I will never buy anything, but like, I just don't really gravitate towards those brands at all, just because I know they are always going to get discounted, however long after, by however percentage, right? About the staff discount, I mean, I don't care because they work there. But I also know that for staff discount, they don't get to purchase for example, like the new releases or like the popular items.
They do.
Not right away. They don't get it right away. They have to wait a certain period.
Yeah.
For example, if it's like brand new, they cannot buy it that year. They can only buy it the next year and something like that. I mean, it might be different in Singapore, but that's how it is here. Like, I remember my essay at the time when I bought my Chanel 22. He said that he liked it and that he would like to get it in the large. And I said, oh, why don't you? And he said that they're not allowed. Well, I guess they're allowed to buy it if it was full cost, but not by themselves. Probably someone buy it on their behalf. But like, if they wanted to buy it and they have the staff discount, they cannot buy it that year, or at least they can't buy it when it's new. And there's not even enough stock for the clients. So they can only buy it like after a certain period of time, which makes it fair in a way. Yeah.
Fair. When I heard it, I was like,
well, why don't you work at Cartier then? You can get discount there.
Yeah, you know what? I know a few people working at the HR at Cartier. That's it. I'm sending you my resume, which I actually did, because I was like, I cannot take this. Yeah, I did.
it's not
What's
something
the
that hasn't
Cartier's
crossed my
brand? Let
mind.
me think. What's their owner? Richmond
Oh,
Group.
okay.
I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sending you my CV. I mean,
You
that was
should.
years
Like, I
ago.
mean, you might as well, right? Like, we talk about luxury every single week. We might as well just be selling this stuff. But like, it's something that has crossed my mind. Like, I don't want to work at Hermes because then I won't be able to buy the quota bags. But like,
Yeah,
I
that's
want to
true.
work at, I don't know, Tiffany, VCA, like those brands. Like, I don't mind like working there so that I don't have to buy the newest stuff or the most popular stuff. But as long as I get some benefit, and I
Uh,
mean, you might end up spending your whole paycheck there anyway, but like that is
that's
another
true.
issue as well on its own.
That is true. That is true. You know, every day you're surrounded of these pretty things. I think I'll be dead broke. Worse. Worst.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. I think let me see. Is that a comment? I kind of want the Dior saddle pouch with the strap, jacquard and calfskin. The price is not bad. Is there a continuation to that?
I don't think so.
Oh, Catherine also wants that, but cannot pull the trigger. Yeah, I think maybe on our roast episode we talk about a lot about the saddle bag.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do another roast episode. It's time to do another roast
Oh,
episode.
we were talking about a mukbang.
Right, yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I mean, we're always so. I mean, I'm always drinking. I'm like, rah, rah, rah. But you know, we were thinking about. Sorry, side topic. I know it's a little diversion from today, but we were discussing on doing an episode on talking trash about bags.
Wait, mukbangs are not always about talking trash though, is it?
Yeah. Oh, not necessarily, but usually when you're eating, you're like, oh my god.
Oh, okay. You're like complaining about life, basically.
Yeah. Usually that's the time, right? So,
Okay.
but you're doing something enjoyable. You're like, you can trash it out. So, yeah, we wanted to do an episode on while we're eating. Not really ASMR, but eating, and picking on some bags. So, let us know in the comments. What do you think? If we get enough yeses, we'll do it. I mean, I'll make sure I get like a really noisy meal, okay? Like noodles and.
Oh my gosh. Is that... So okay, I don't really watch mukbangs. I have seen some only because I used to watch vlogs from some of my favorite YouTubers, and like once in the blue moon they'll do like a mukbang episode, but only because I watched them. So I don't really know if they do it the right way. So why is it so attractive, or why do people even watch other people eat? Like I would be like kind of like doing that if I was me, like why?
I'll be like, yeah, that bag is really bad.
No, but like why? What's the mentality behind just like listening to people talk with their mouth full and eat?
Oh no,
Like,
okay.
why?
I think that those were the like really over the board mukbangs, right? It's
Okay.
and you just want to see them eat insane amount of food, and you're like
Okay.
slightly disgusted, but you can't look away. You're like, oh my god, oh my like anything gross, you just can't look away. Like you want to look away, but your eyes is still looking at it. So I think those are just, that's why people like to look at it. But then it has evolved into just normal eating, and so it feels like you're having a meal with your friend and
Okay.
is chatting, right? So it feels even more more connected, I guess. So yeah, let us know. I see a yes from Chris. If we get enough yes,
sushi, because that's the only thing that I can probably eat without splashing everywhere, because I'm in my bedroom, so, and I have carpet, so definitely don't want.
Maybe I'll get like mala.
Yeah, you do that.
I do the mala, because not only is it like really intense, it's spicy. So I'll be like,
Right.
wow, very hot, very hot.
That's funny because you were just complaining about how hot it was.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So yeah, maybe yeah. So we can do that, and we can pick on some bags as well. That will be a fun episode.
Sounds
Just
good.
don't unsubscribe because like that's just too gross.
It'll be an exceptional, like a, kind of like a once in a blue moon episode. I mean, it'll be fun, I'm sure.
It'll be fun. Yeah.
Especially there are some times where I'm actually rushing to eat before getting started on this. So now I don't have to rush. I'll just eat it during and be good. Oh, okay. Back to Blue Egyptian Lotus. I was hoping to buy the full set or like new a few months ago. I think it's Fashion File. Had the mini pro rectangle for 6K in excellent condition, and I missed it in March. Then in March, I missed it again. It sold for 8K. I prefer not to pay for more than 8K. Recently purchased 3 bags within 45 days. Mini Pearl 22, Chanel Red Heart Class Mini Square. Oh, and the mini rectangular top handle gold caviar. Oh, that's a nice one. And then Catherine goes, "We will never learn."
Yeah, actually, we just handle it a bit better because the FOMO you cannot run away from it.
Yeah.
They did a study recently, so I'm not sure if you heard the news about Coldplay. I don't know if our Asian news goes there, but so Coldplay, the band, is having concerts here in Malaysia and Singapore. And I think Coldplay's concerts always get sold out. He's doing his tour, and how many days they do the tour. It's sort of like a Taylor Swift, it's like, wow, everybody just want to go, packed out. So they did one day in Malaysia, and the queue, like the online digital queue, was just jammed out, totally sold out. It was just insane. People were upset, everything. But in Singapore, they actually are going to do a concert again. So they came out later in Singapore, but in Singapore, it's like 4 days. And everybody was scrambling to go and get the tickets. And because there was so much hype about this, can't get tickets, so popular, blah, 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 and all that, they did a study. They said that they actually found out that people who were also buying the tickets, like going for the concerts, they were not actually Coldplay. Like they're not really big fans of Coldplay. They just wanted to be in it, like get it, let's get the tickets, because it created so much hype and excitement that those that don't really listen to Coldplay, I mean, I know one or two of the songs, they also got swept by the hype and the current. They were also part of the queuing system for nights before, and all excited to be part of it. So that FOMO, it really, really just kind of takes over you. You're like, you don't even think straight. Like probably after the whole ticketing thing is done, you sit back, you're like, I don't really like Coldplay, but yeah, I've been going for it as well since my friends are going.
It's sort of like FOMO, basically. It is FOMO.
Yeah, it is FOMO.
Even though you don't really know much, like, do they even know their songs, for example?
So I'm going for the concert, and it's not because I didn't participate in the crazy FOMO, but my husband did because he loves Coldplay. But I'm going to be one of those. I'm like, I'm going for this because I got tickets. And I don't even know. So now I've got 6 months to learn Coldplay songs. I mean, I know a few of them, but like, really? Okay, I will go and have a good time.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's the craze, when I saw the queuing system, it was insane. Like the line, that like digital line, you can see you are 600,000.
Wow.
Like what?
600,000. There aren't that many tickets.
The capacity of the stadium is 50,000. And you're in the 6,000, like you're queuing 600,000. Because you're not only people in Singapore, right? Malaysia buying, Indonesia, all buying, right? All coming in. And it's apparently so brutal, the queuing system, because it's, I don't know how it works, but maybe out of the 600,000, some get, maybe you take too long, then it kicks you out, then another person comes in. So you need to be like, go in, click, 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 and then you get.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if you click, you go in, let me see which seat I want. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's interesting that you brought this up, because I was just saying that if a brand does discount. Oh, wait. What was I saying? I was saying that, no, sorry. I meant if a brand is always popular and never discounts, then I like it more. On the other hand, concerts for me, I never fancy concerts anyway. First of all, I don't like loud places. That's number one. And second of all, I don't want to be like, I cannot watch a concert ever, because I know every time, like, you just want to sit there and enjoy the concert, but people will be like standing up, singing along, yelling, this and that. So you can't even really watch it unless you also stand up, because then you can't see anything, right? So I've never, ever in my entire life enjoyed concerts ever. The only reasons why I go sometimes is because someone had already bought the tickets and I'm just going
Same.
along with them. So
Same.
so
Same.
So kind of different from mentality of bags. The more popular they are concert wise, the more I don't want to go, because I know it'll be a nightmare. Like, for me, it is a nightmare. Like, if you're an extrovert and you like to be like partying while, like, dancing along, jumping and singing along, like, you do you, that's all great. I'm just the total opposite. Like, I prefer just watching it on TV if it's available, because then I can just sit back and be like, now I'm enjoying the concert. It's so stressful. Oh my goodness.
I know, right? Why do we go? It's a what do you call it? Like almost like a herd mentality. This concert craze that happened in Singapore and Malaysia, the amount of hype that was building pre-concert, it was insane. It was on social medias, it was on TVs, it was on newspaper. I mean, you have to give it to the Coldplay's marketing team. They did such a good job at hyping up this whole thing. I mean, yeah, great, I mean, I listen to Coldplay through the music, but it's just, I don't know. Anyway, hype, and it's this herd mentality. Everyone is just so hyped up about Coldplay. I don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't get it. So maybe it's the same kind of thing when it comes to the particular very limited item bag. Which once it's gone, right? So it's like discontinued, because you never see it again. You never see the concert again. So hype, throw the news there. Everybody tell the essay, say it's discontinued. Everybody's like, herd mentality, go on and grab it.
Yeah.
But do you really want it, right? So I think there is a bit of psyche to that.
Yeah, there definitely is.
Oh my gosh, thank you for reminding me, Eileen. Yes, so the next one is Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's going to be crazy.
She is coming to Singapore. Is it one day? I don't know. She'll add another day, I'm pretty sure. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Let me just tell you about Taylor Swift. So she's coming to Singapore. And then yesterday, I mean, Taylor Swift. Okay, so
yeah,
I'm not a Swiftie. I don't know her songs very well. Probably heard it like, oh, that's Taylor Swift. But the thing is, her concert sort of came after, like the next craze. So everybody's like going crazy again, because now people are complaining, oh my God, I got no more money because I'm buying Taylor Swift. She even got like the education minister, you're talking about government, right? To do some kind of challenge where if they can get Taylor Swift to come to their school, their school will get a public holiday, like for themselves, a day off, or some crazy, marketing ploy, but with the government. Like, oh my God, can you just listen to the craze that's going on right now? I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't really. I mean, I like her songs on the radio, but I don't really know all her songs. Obviously, I don't even know that many songs of hers. But I know Taylor Swift is like hugely popular. Like even some of the influencers that I follow on Instagram, they rave about them going to a Taylor Swift concert, or just just kind of even just preempting the fact that they are about to go. It's very I mean, that's definitely more than herd mentality, maybe, because it's sort of like how why are like K-pops, for example, right? K-pop stars, they are just people. Like they are really good looking, can dance, can sing, yes, but they're just people, right? Like why are people so crazy and cry and scream and like literally like like can like die for these people? Like I don't understand that, but it's something about the stardom quality of these people that you're literally like dying in front of them. It's something I don't know. I cannot explain because I don't fancy that either.
Does anyone have this? Like, well, in perspective. So Catherine's putting in perspective, huh? Coldplay is
Okay.
Hermes. You know what? No, let me start again. Coldplay is Chanel. Because Coldplay started with 4 concerts in Singapore because it was so popular. They added more concerts. So it's sort of like Chanel's like, let's throw out a little bit more. Piao! But Taylor Swift is Hermes because she says 1 concert. Take it
Yeah.
or leave it. So
Oh my god.
and then she
Yeah.
might say, okay lah. You deserve
I don't think
one
she
more.
has the time. She's probably booked everywhere.
She's like, forget it. I
She's
don't know.
overbooked already. Probably not. I don't think.
Yeah. So
Can't
Taylor
just,
Swift
like-
is Hermes.
Yeah, I
Unfortunately.
would agree.
So anyway, this is the thing that's going on right now. It is flooding the media, and I mean, obviously we're talking about handbags, but it has so much like this psyche, this craziness that we go for, that this tactics that are all put out. It's all this marketing tactics. It's I don't know. In a way, a little jaded by it, right? Because what can you do? You cannot chase the masses.
Are you jaded, or are you actually happy about it though? Because when you go to a concert, unless you're me, then no, you will be jaded by it. But like, if you actually love these stars, you will be so happy that you even got the chance to go. Because what if you couldn't get the tickets because you couldn't be part of that 60,000 people that are waiting in queue?
Okay, so let me use a star that I would be pretty. I would be part of that queue, okay? And this is definitely showing my age, but in a way, I have a reason for it. I would definitely go for a maybe not now because the guy can't sing anymore, but I would definitely go for a Bon Jovi concert, something that I missed out. So the dude can't sing anymore. I mean, he's old, his vocals are totally whacked from screaming. But say 10 years ago, if he was still doing concerts, 10, 15 years ago, yeah, I'd be part of a queue. I'd be part of the queue screaming, "It's my life!"
Oh my goodness.
But I'm not sure what I would scream at, Coldplay. So give me 6 months to practice the music, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
I mean, you don't have to know the music to enjoy it, but it would be more fun if you can sing along.
Yeah, it'll be more fun. It'll be more fun.
Yeah.
Having said that, apparently now, concerts, you watch it through your phone because everybody's like this.
I know, it's so annoying, right? Like literally, it's impossible to watch a concert, and because everyone is literally standing up, jumping, or some people actually have like their girlfriends on top of their shoulders. Like, it's hard. If you're someone like me who likes calm and collected, there's no way to enjoy it. There's just no way.
But you know what? I think when there's no hands up, like, because I've been to like festivals, right? And it can get really crowded. Of course, if you got a tall person in front of you, it's kind of annoying. right? But you can sort of see through the cracks. You can lift up your head. You can see. But the thing is, handphones do add a different element because it's distracting. You try to see the concert happening live, but then you see all the screens with the same thing, and you're like, you sort of being like distracted by a million of the same things, which the real things happening over there. Plus, hands up means all the cracks that you were previously trying to look through are all blocked. So yeah, that's something that I'm curious about, because I've never experienced going for a festival concert in the past 10 years, where this is something new, right? I think last time there was some of it, but people were still quite self-conscious about, you know, filming, or they film a little bit, but they film a little bit, but they just want to have like a snippet of it. But because of TikTok and social media and everything's real time, blah, 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 they are doing it while they're dancing. I think it's a problem. It's a problem for actual people who want to enjoy the event.
And I guess it depends on how crazy the crowd gets. I wonder if it's not as crazy in Singapore versus the US or Canada, for example. Like, honestly, I only enjoy concerts where there's limited seating. Like, there's such a small. That's why I like going to the concerts in Las Vegas, because the theater part of any of the casinos is limited seating, like hundreds, like in the hundreds, not thousands, tens of thousands, that's for sure. And it's sort of like they are there many nights. So, you know, with bigger concerts like the ones of that caliber that you're describing, sometimes even the artists themselves, they encourage people to stand up, to yell, to pull out their phones and do the flashlight thing, because everyone can do this, and then have like the whole flashlight thing. And I think the enjoyable part for those people, for people that enjoy concerts, is that they're part of it, basically. Does it really mean that you can see everything? No. It's just that you're part of it, so you're part of like a group.
The hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
I can never enjoy it though.
Oh, JC, you've been to a BSB concert. Yeah, that's another concert that I would go for. Backstreet Backs, all right. They were supposed to be in Singapore, but there wasn't much hype about it, which is a good thing. Okay, hype is just annoying. Okay, anyway. We didn't get many likes for mukbang. Does not everybody want to see us do a mukbang?
Well, we'll still do one. Why not?
We'll still do one. We won't listen to you.
We'll do one. I mean, it'll still come down to the actual content, like whatever we're talking about. So it's not just really watching us eat, because that would not make sense even to myself. I'm like, why am I doing this? Oh, speaking of never full, I bought the Neverfull yesterday. I owned it several times in the past, sold it when I needed the money to finance other things, but I need it back now. Yay! Yeah, I think the Neverfull is great. It's just, for me anyway, like the way I see
like
it is, there's a reason why it's loved by many.
Yeah. Yeah, actually I like that, the way you've said it, because you've had it. So I'm trying to reflect on my petite Noé. I've had it, and then I sold it to fund other things. And then when I'm ready, I'll just buy it back, and hopefully it's not discontinued. So at the moment, I'm not ready. I know the good cat sitting on this side saying, don't do it. It's saying, yeah, you're not ready for it. It might be still fairly reasonable, but yeah, when I'm ready, I'll buy it. Oh, Catherine's up for it. Yay, eat. Maybe when we do it, you all should be eating, okay? Like, don't make us be all alone. Like, grab your sandwich, grab your wonton mee, you know, whatever you're eating at the time that we're doing the live.
Yeah. You know, this brand, I heard about it, but I don't really know this brand very well. So APM, is it APM or APN? Is it APM? Anyway, APM jewelry, it never goes on sale. Good design, reasonable price.
Yeah, they have a few stores here in Singapore. I first saw it. I'm not sure which influencer that I saw it on, but probably a UK influencer. I do like their designs. It's quite modern. The ones that I remember were more astrology, stars and all, which was why I was attracted to it. But I never bought it. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of Monica Vinader.
Oh,
It's
is it though? Is it?
a little bit. It gives me that
Okay.
a little bit of that.
Oh my gosh, I have to pull this comment from Miss Animali. My friend told me that their Dior staff discount every quarter can get up to 70% off. Wow. And
I'm not
that's another
surprised.
reason why Dior doesn't hold value. Yep. This is also why I okay, I didn't know this, but for me, Dior, we've always seen that even the Lady Dior being such a timeless classic that they don't quite hold their value. I mean, compared to their retail price, they really don't hold their value, right? So that was why, for me, I took the plunge once and I told myself only once this one time, and whatever it happens, whether I wear it or not, blah, 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 that's it. I'm just going to do it once and that is it. And I'm okay with it. But yeah, I wouldn't buy too many things from Dior, which I haven't. 70%, that is, wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is a question for me. And Jahari, I'm eyeing the Celine box bag for work, but the price is making me hesitate. Do you miss your box bag, Kat? No, I don't. And I enjoyed it while I had it. I definitely loved it, but I don't have many bags in my collection or in my past collection that I've sold that I miss. There are a handful of a little bit of a seller's regret, but a lot of times once I sell a bag, I'm quite good at saying, I'm kind of good at closing, like closing the chapter with the bag. So why I don't miss the bag is because I have other bags already. I've experienced it. I know its flaws to me, which is the way the accordion style works. So to me, that was a flaw, but I managed it while I had the bag. But I think that's one of the reasons why I don't miss the bag, because it was not 100% perfect for me. But yeah, and it's expensive.
Yeah.
Truly, it's for that price, it doesn't hold. Well, you know what? Actually, it holds quite a lot. It can really expand the bag because of the accordion style. It has the little flaws like the accordion, the buckle is sharp. So in my videos, I actually did a DIY, like tie the strap, turn it around. But those are kind of fixes that should not be fixes for a bag that price. So therefore, I don't miss it. I've enjoyed it, but I actually don't miss it. I don't know if I recommend it. Honestly, I wonder if the new design, which is the Triumph, is a better solution to some of those pain points that I had. Still has the look, slightly different. So yeah, those are just some of my thoughts.
And I also wanted to add, although I don't have experience with this bag, but I wonder if you're still wondering, right? You don't know if you want to pull the trigger. Two options I would personally look out for if it was me. So I would look out for a pre-love, because I think I just saw a pre-love one on I can't remember if it was like Love Luxury's IG story or something like that. I saw it on an IG story and they were selling it for like 2,000 something Singapore dollars. I was like, wow, if I wanted this bag, I could just get it pre-loved, totally enjoy it, trash it, whatever. Even if there's some like cons that you mentioned, at least you got it at a deep discount. So that's number one. The other option I would look at is if you don't like the Triumph logo, because I know maybe you're going for this bag because you like the kind of understated
Simplicity.
look, there is a brand out there that has a bag that is very similar to this bag. Not the same, but very similar. And it's a fraction of the cost. It's called APC. This brand has a very similar box bag like this.
Is the logo a little bit like a tuning fork? Like this?
No, there's no logo for that one. It's just
Oh, okay, okay.
APC. Like that there is you know what? Let's just look for it because I have been sort of like, seeing, I mean, I've been sort of like seeing it around and noticing that this brand has been very popular. I myself have bought a couple of tops from the brand, but I was looking at their bags too. And they do sell it on Farfetch. I'm sure you can find it anywhere else too, but Farfetch has a pretty good selection, I find.
Oh,
So
I have a Farfetch code. Use my code.
yeah, go ahead and use Kat's code.
I don't get anything from the code anyway.
Here.
So it's just
Here.
code.
I'm just gonna share my screen. So like, yeah, whoever has a code right now, you can just, so this one, so this is their Grace bag. It sort of has that vibe, right? They have a smaller version, a bigger version, and it's only a few $100s. Some of them are on sale right now. This one. So like, for example, let's just go for not purple. Let's just go for this size, right? The regular size, not the mini size. It looks like this. So it's still kind of accordion. There's 3 compartments, it looks like. Here, can you see it?
Yes.
Front, middle. It's definitely not the same quality. Like it's not leather line and all that stuff, but it's still leather, and you get the look because it's very simple, right? There's a little logo on the bottom, but the clasp is very simple. And other than that, the way you wear it. So the only little logo is the print on the bottom, APC, which is a French brand. So it's a French contemporary brand. And I noticed this brand, when I was I think I was doing my last haul, was it, or it could have been the one before that, in the fall, I think, because I was buying a bunch of sweaters. So I bought a few sweaters from this brand, and some of you guys are still asking me, where did you get that sweater? Like from some of my videos, and it's from this brand.
Right.
So check it out because.
Hey, before you close, can you? Does Farfetch have the brand Demillier?
Oh, how do you spell that?
Okay, let me show you. So thanks, Corinne. Corinne can read my mind. The tuning fork. It has
I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me share it again.
It's really popular. I've seen a few YouTubers shout about this brand,
right?
And I kind of like like a tuning fork.
Okay,
oh yeah, Farfetch has it. Yeah,
like this one, but it's not really the same. Like the
there
one
you
I
go,
suggested.
the tuning fork.
Yeah, like this first one is the tuning fork. This one, right?
Yeah, and then down there there's a couple more. There's third row or something like that. The fourth row, maybe. Yeah, there we go. These are pretty cool.
Oh, like these ones. Okay.
So this brand has something similar.
Yeah, you can look up this
there
brand
go, the
too.
brown one.
This one is kind of cute. This one, the London bag.
The London bag. There we go.
But then, so these are really just like, they're really not the same bag, obviously. But if you really can't decide and you still want like a box bag look or like a smooth leather bag with no
click that one,
logo.
Amy. That white one. That white one. That white one. Click. Yes, that is a almost copy of the box bag because you see the top the strap. Yeah, you see the way it's
like here,
the strap, and then the buckle, and no, sorry, not copy of the box bag, but a copy of the Constance, because you can double up the chain, much more better than the box bag. So this is a popular one.
Yeah, the only thing with contemporary brands sometimes is that you won't find the same smoothness like when you open and close. Like the material is stiffer, like the leather is not as good and those things. But as long as you don't mind and you're not expecting the same thing, obviously. But if you're looking to get the same look, these are kind of cute. And like I said, APC is another option as well. $620, that's really cheap, actually.
Yeah.
It's called the Vancouver bag. Oh my gosh. That's funny. So it's easy to remember. Okay.
Like
There
a
you go.
tuning fork.
Yeah.
It's pretty iconic. I mean, it's like very, very recognizable when there are like two things like this.
Yeah.
All right, let's take this one last question from JC. Is there a reason why Cartier leather bags aren't popular? Cartier shoulder bag is very similar to H. Constance with partition. The only difference is the hardware opening. Good question, actually. I tried the bag in store, and I agree that it's well made. And I like the hardware on it because it really felt like jewelry. But I don't know. I think it felt a bit stiff. It just didn't. Yeah, it just felt a little stiff. Maybe the design that I was looking at. It had the top handle, like a little Kelly bag. I don't know, what was it that made me, yeah, it's much cheaper, half the price. It felt like, you know what? It felt like Bulgari bags. So Bulgari, the Serpentine bag is also very popular, right? So usually the hardware is the standout piece of those kind of jewelry luxury bag, where they had similarities between the Cartier bags and the Bulgari bags. For the make of the bag, it just felt very heavy. And not a good way, not in a comfortable way, just very, heavy and clunky, even it's tiny. I think you have to go and try it. So I liked the Bulgari bag when I tried it years ago. I never bought it because when you pick it up, like, wow, why this small bag so heavy? And I got the same impression from the Cartier bag. And I think the Cartier bag is the one with the C logo. Very nice. Really, the hardware is fantastic. It looks well made. But it didn't wow. It didn't like, whoa, I wasn't blown away by it. Weight was one of the issues.
I've never seen a Cartier bag, so I can't really comment, but I'll pull out this comment. I think this is a good closing comment. I think it's because Cartier's handbags designs were previously very mature looking. They've updated it nowadays, but I think it's not enough marketing to promote them. This reminds me of Moana and like, what's the other brand? Can't remember the other brand that, they have some designs dated back to even longer than some of the more super popular ones nowadays. But I think because they don't heavily promote it, and at the end of the day, you have to still update the designs. Like you have to make it suitable for modern usage, right? Like things have to be more easy to get in and out of. Not to say that every bag is, but like in general, you have to have like something to stand out and promote that, to make your brand more known about it. And I mean, I've never seen a Cartier handbag, so like to me is like I would not really ever think to buy one, right? So
I think if I was a handbag collector, I wouldn't mind adding a Cartier bag. I think that would be the perspective. Because they kind of look matured, even though I know Korean is saying they're trying to update it. Still feels a little
yeah.
clunky, matured. But I have, yeah, agree. The mechanism, the lock, wow, very, very, very nice.
Right. Well, maybe one day, but as of right now, and I've never seen any. Like I've been to we only have one store, so it's not. They have relocated, and I don't know if it's really bigger than before. But like I haven't seen bags around. If there had, I wasn't curious enough to look. So maybe there is a disconnect too. Like Cartier is known for their jewelry, so I don't think people would just go there and be like wanting to buy a bag, right? Or wanting to look up for a bag. So maybe that's why it's just definitely not popular enough, for sure. At least at this point. Okay. We'll just show this comment. JC, now that Tiffany's is owned by LVMH, they're starting to push their bags. I like the Return to Tiffany tote bag. It's priced well. I'd imagine they procure leather from. Oh, it should be on par with LVMH. Oh, okay, yeah. So, see, like Tiffany, Tiffany does a lot of marketing, and so I feel like if they are starting to push, perhaps we will, get to see more Tiffany bags around, like with influencers, or starting with influencers, and then just people in general. But yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining us today. I hope you guys enjoyed the chit chat. And next week, I can't remember. What's next week?
Next week's on my channel. We're gonna talk about. Well, next week's July. So if you already know, July is a big month for all of us. We've got 3 weeks in a row, which is all guests. So don't forget to join us for that. I believe the first week. Oh, I can't remember.
Oh, right.
It's
I
on my
remember.
channel.
It's a topic. It's a tag. Right. Next week is on.
Oh,
the
yeah,
tag.
it's the tag. Yep, it's the tag. We need to do the tag. Right.
Yes. So we'll see you next week on Kat's channel. And also tomorrow, members, we have an episode with exclusive unboxing for the members. So join us. But otherwise, have a great weekend and week ahead of you. Bye.
Bye.